Okay, so I'm back. So it's been a few hours actually. My husband and I went to the movies. I found a bottle. It was my old bottle, my old JML Island Oil bottle. So the mixture was still liquid. I poured it into my JML bottle after having been sitting on ice for a few minutes. It was still all liquidy. It was like almost like a little bit like hair gel. And let me see my towels. And I thought I put in too much olive oil and that it wasn't going to firm up. Come back a few hours later and we have this. Yeah, that's not coming out. And I have no way of getting to it. So I spoke to my sister, Gold Purse, a little bit about it. She was like, yeah, you really can't put too much oil in. It's pretty much always going to go back to a solid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bottle in a pot of some boiling water, melt it back down, and I'm going to put it into some kind of tub, I guess, as opposed to a bottle. I thought it was going to stay liquidy. I thought I would be able to, like, pour it out and put a little bit in my hand, and, this is for my face mostly. That's not for my hair. I don't know if I meant this already, but this was not meant for my hair. It's for my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that bottle in some hot water to remelt it. I might add even a little bit more olive oil and put it in a tub as opposed to that kind of bottle. Let me just say that when I was transferring it from the pot to that container, I know there was some left over. I was rubbing it on my hands, rubbing it on my arms, and at first it didn't feel greasy at all, but it looked greasy. Like it looked like I put something like Vaseline on me, but it wasn't. I'm sorry, I'm hot. It wasn't that, it didn't feel that way though. It felt very light. But probably within about 10 minutes or so, it had soaked completely into my skin, and I wasn't greasy anymore. Then at the movie theater, while we were at the theater, I was just sitting there and I was kind of like rubbing my hands. I'm like, oh, my arms feel so soft. My skin feels so soft. I'm like, oh. And it was because I think of the shea butter and olive oil that was rubbing all over my skin when I was trying to get rid of all the last little bits in the pot. And I don't know if you can probably get, oh, you can see a little bit. You can see the sheen on my arm. You see how it still has a little bit of a sheen, but it's not greasy looking. It just has a nice little sheen to it. So I think it'll be a good thing for my face. I think what I'll probably do is, no, I think I'll just use just that. I was concerned about using just oil on my face. I wanted to use a lotion first and then that mixture, but it's shea butter. So I think I would just, after I wash my face, I will just rub some of that off, put it on my skin. I'm happy. I mean, just with one application, I already noticed a difference in the feel of my arms. So maybe my skin too, and my face. So I think I'll end this video here, and maybe in my next video I'll come back to you with updates. After I've used it for a week or so, I'll come back to you with updates on how it worked out, what my final mixture, what my final balance of things was, how I stored it, how it felt on my skin, how long it took to absorb on my face, all that other good stuff. So wish me luck, guys. Talk to you later. So just really quickly, I want to show you this. This is a little bit of what was left over in the boiler pan, and let me just show you this real quick. Hold on a second. Okay. So, you see I put some on my hand. I want you to see this. See how it's just starting to just melt without me even doing anything? It's just from being on my hand. It's already starting to liquefy and turn into a liquid. So I have no fear. Like if I wanted to use this in my hair, I probably could. I'm not big on that in my hair, but just so you see just how quickly I put it on my hand and it just starts to melt right away. Oh, there's my kitty cat. Hi, Papa. Hi. Okay, guys, so I sort of messed up. Last night, after I finished with melting the shea butter back down, I said, oh, let me just throw a little bit more olive oil in there, and a little bit more glycerin, and just a little bit more almond oil, because, it's pretty solid, and I think I can put a little bit more just to make it just a little bit more better. And so I added more olive. I added 2 2 tablespoons more of olive oil, another tablespoon of glycerin, and another tablespoon of almond oil. And I let it cool and I poured it in these tubs right here. Now, and I left them overnight, and I got up the next morning and they were liquidy still. Like, they were still liquid, they weren't thickened at all, and I was like, oh, fatal, I messed up. But then I put them in the refrigerator, and I just took them out now, and now they are solid. Now, I'm not sure if I leave them out if they'll go back to liquid. They probably will, but like, it's really soft. I know, it's like not only that. And this is what it, see, it's melting immediately on my skin still. Just touching my hand, making it start to melt. And I'm going to try to show you me putting some on my hand. Let's see if we can do this. There's my hand. Let me put some on. And see how that's shiny, how it looks all shiny. Just rub it a little bit more. It feels awesome. It feels nice and smooth and velvety. And there you go. There it is. There's my hand with some on there. So there you have it. There's the mixture. I'm probably just going to keep it in the refrigerator until I'm done with it completely, until I use it, because my sister was telling me that it's good to put honey in these things, because the honey will help make it help preserve it a little bit longer, especially when you're making things with all natural ingredients that can go rancid or go bad. But I just bought honey today. I didn't have any honey in the house when I made these, so they have no honey in them. So I figure one way to help them last longer also would be to keep them in the refrigerator. So I'm only going to keep these in the refrigerator, take them out when I need to use them, and then put them back. And hopefully that'll make them last longer, as well as keeping them in a more solid state. So that was my adventures with trying to make my own homemade shea butter, olive oil, glycerin, lotion type deal for my face. So I will, like I said, I'll use this for the next week or so, and I'll come back at you and let you know how it's going, how my skin is feeling, how it's reacting to it. And already, like I said, I already feel a difference on my arms. I used it on my arms for the last 2 days. The last day and a half while I've been messing around with it, and my skin still feels really soft and buttery. It feels really nice and smooth. So I'm gonna wash my face, and I'm gonna try it tonight, and I'll try it a few times during the week. And like I said, I'll get back to you on how it turns out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.